All right. Good afternoon. You already know who it is. Targeted individual CJBK. I am. Or it's 12:40 p.m. Wednesday, February 12th, 2025. Um, I'm at my mom's house in Brooklyn because I had to do well. I had to do some things that I kind of did push the last minute, but with all of the negative thought processing that happened yesterday while trying to get some important things done. I was actually thankful that I was able to get some things done. So, one, I went and got myself a physical. Went and got me some blood work done, and haven't really gone through everything in depth. But one thing I noticed here is so my cholesterol is great, right? Let me see. Where's cholesterol? Right, my cholesterol is great. What is it? 181. Supposed to be less than 200. So my HDL is 112. They say the minimum is supposed to be 40. And let me see, my LDL is 56. They say it's supposed to be less than 100, right? Now, let me see what else. Then I see non-HDL cholesterol is 69. That's supposed to be less than 130. What is it? Triglycerides 46. It's supposed to be less than 150. Then you got what does that says? Cholesterol HDL C ratio. I don't know, 1.6, and it's supposed to be less than 5.0. So my cholesterol is fine, right? But then I need to look more into what this means. So my lipoprotein is 152. That's high, and that is, let me see. It's supposed to be for it to be optimal. I'm supposed to be less than 75, right? Now, I'm going to see if I'm going to look into it later to see how this technology can interfere with your lipoprotein count. What else I found? Ketones. It says trace. They found trace of ketones, so I need to look more into that. That's the urinalysis. Then my vitamin D. The vitamin D is extremely low, but that's supposedly is very common in people who are dark skinned or people who have melanin tend to have lower vitamin D counts. Supposed to be between 30 and 100. Mine is 7. So there's that. What else? What's interesting is I tell the doctor to test me for everything, right? I tell him test me for everything. And when I look at the form, because of course they give you the form that you have to give to the they give you the form so that you can give to the people that do the blood work, whether it's Quest Diagnosis, LabCorp, or whoever you use. And then they fill it, right? Now I looked at my form and I noticed when I say test me for everything, I don't know. I'm assuming you're gonna test me for everything, but obviously, I looked and I noticed there was only maybe 12 things checked off. So then when I got to the office, I asked the nurse or I'm not sure what you would call them, but I asked the person doing my my blood drawing. I was like, now, when I tell the doctor, test me for everything, on that form, does it look like if your doctor asks you to test, if you ask your doctor to test you for everything, does it look like didn't he put in a test for everything? And she kind of gave me this answer. She was like, well, she got the basics. He got the most common things. And I'm like, right. And I'm like, see, that's what I don't like, is when I say test me for everything, but you don't test me for everything. So I guess I'm assuming from a doctor's standpoint that each test costs money, right? I get that each test costs money. Now, the thing is that I'm assuming they go based off of the basic stuff, and then if they see something off in the basic levels or whatever, then they'll try to look for other tests. I don't like that, because I feel like if I say test me for everything, you should test me for everything. I informed my doctor about the mold situation that occurs periodically in my home, and told them that we have issues. Sometimes we have issues with like phlegm coming up or whatever. So he gave me a referral for a what he said, a pulmonary doctor or something like that. Anyway, so I was surprised I actually had got my results in one day. Well, yeah. Then let me see. Yeah. And then I look at my test, and well, she told me he marked off all the basic stuff. So I was like, okay. I'm not even gonna lie, I almost started to mark a test that I feel like that should have been marked up. I started to, but I didn't. Okay, so right, no chlamydia, my cholesterol is great, uric acid, that's fine. Now my white blood cell count is 4.0. The reference is supposed to be between 3.8 and 10.8. So my body is fighting for its dear life, because I know the technology is definitely chopping away at certain things, trying to see if they can destroy me internally. Because I know they're working. They got all kinds of slanderous things going on now, trying to destroy my character. But I gotta keep pressing forward. What else? Trying to see what else I see that was off. And it's funny because they have been saying so much. Chris got so many diseases. He got so many diseases. I'm like, look, I don't see hepatitis C. I don't see HIV. That's all negative. Let me see. What else? My hemoglobin is low. 5.3 is supposed to be. Oh no, it's not low. That's actually fine. It's supposed to be less than 5.7, and it's at 5.3. So let me see. Hemoglobin for the purpose of screening for the presence of diabetes. Let me see. Anything less than 5.7 or consistent with the absence of diabetes, okay. Anything above 5.7 is an increased risk. Now, what's yeah, if you're noticing how ashy I am, this is not ash. This is literally me taking baking soda and salt water, and I just made like a mixture. And matter of fact, let me put some more water in here and make some more. So right now, my mom and I, we're like being attacked horribly. And she's probably dealing with it the worse than I am because I guess I don't know. I've been dealing with the attacks for 4 years now. So for me, at this point, it's like, well, I already know what you can do. I already know that they're playing around. They don't intend to kill me. They're not trying to kill me because if they wanted to kill me, they can. But they don't intend to. They just want to terrify me, right? And that's one of the things that they're also doing with my mother. They're trying to terrify this woman, 76-year-old woman who's on disability. She doesn't have any money, you know, and I don't know. It's like their whole thing right now is basically terrorize everyone who is not going to bow to the beast system. And there's a video I think everyone should watch. That's by it's on the YouTube channel End Time Productions, and it's about how the Antichrist is already here. It's not a person. It's not one person, but it's a system. You know, the Antichrist is already here. It's not one person, but it's a system. And he talks about how the beast that had the 7 heads and 10 horns that came up from the water was actually 7 nations. 7 nations or 7 empires, 7 civilizations. You got the Persians. Let's see if I can remember them all. It was like the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, the Egyptians. Who else? Who else was it? Persians, Greeks, Romans, Egyptians. Well, you know, the British Empire was one. There was 2 more. What was it, the Babylonians? Dang, it was 2 more, but I can't remember it. But you can find the video on End Times Productions YouTube channel, and then look for the one that says something about the Antichrist is already here, something like that. But anyway, so we're being like heavily attacked in here, and I think this is probably one of the best things I did since I've been here, starting yesterday, was making that mixture and just spraying over the body. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. I turned the Wi-Fi off because my mom, she's 76, don't really know that much about technology, and I'm still learning about certain things about technology that I probably, overlooked or was thinking to myself maybe years ago, I'm not going to be that big into technology, so I'm not even going to take the time to learn about it. I wish I did learn a little bit more about cybersecurity. I wish I did learn a little bit more about, telecommunications and telemedicine and artificial intelligence. I wish I did take the time to learn a little bit more about these things, because then I wouldn't have been so caught off guard by the whole, ideology behind the wireless body area network and the Internet of Things. I wouldn't have been caught so off guard by, V2K if I already knew that, militaries across the globe have been injecting and transmitting the voices of other people into the minds of people wirelessly and through numerous long distances, because why? They don't necessarily need to be positioned in a car or sitting or standing across, in some bushes pointing something at your window. They don't need to do that. Everything is done literally through the infrastructure of our telecommunications and network, and other, forms of network communication systems, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cell towers, satellites, so many different ways, and so many different ways that they're communicating and sending and receiving signals or data. But yeah, so what this basically is doing, it felt really good when you first put it on. After a while it dries, then of course you look ashy, but you're actually just salty. My mom, she hasn't really been sleeping since, when I first got here yesterday. She seemed like she was doing all right, and then all of a sudden she, got on the phone with somebody and then was telling them that, ever since I've been here, they haven't really been messing with her. Why did she go and say that? Because as soon as she said that, all of a sudden she started getting attacked, right? Now, granted, that was expected anyway, because they're not going to rest. They probably just playing around. They play around with us, right? They let us get into a point where we think that we're probably safe for this 1 minute, or where nothing's going to happen to us for this moment. Then all of a sudden, boom! Just when you get comfortable, that's where they start attacking you again. My mom's struggling to go to sleep. Every time she tries to go to sleep, she feels like someone is raping her. She's like, every time she tries to go to sleep, she feels like something's going up her butt, right? Then it's like, and I know what she's feeling, and I know what she's feeling because my girlfriends expressed that before. Other women who are TIs, they have expressed what it feels like when it feels like someone is raping them. But it's like you feel that the sensation and the pressure, like something is going inside of you, but there's nothing around you, right? Now, luckily for those of us who are not afraid to look in the dark, we actually have found that, yes, there are nanoscale size technology that are all within the body, and they're all receiving signals from outside of the body. And then once they receive those signals in the body, they then transmit or convert those signals into electrical impulses. Then they route or multi-hop those impulses into areas or other nodes that are closest to the destination area or the target area, and then they cause that stimulation. So yeah, those of us who are willing to look in the dark, we are finding these things, right? She has so many different like devices and things in here, and it's hard to try to it's hard to try to get her to see everything that I'm trying to tell her, because I'm like, man, you gotta get this quick, because they're like, the way they're moving right now, they're not trying to spend too much time to let you learn too much, especially when someone like me is around, because I'm at the point where I'm not afraid to let you know about what's happening. I just need you not to be afraid of what they'll do to you, because I'm already telling you what's happening. You just need to not be afraid of what they'll do to you. If I'm telling you what's happening, and then you also learn through other people's experience of what's happening to them, you need not to be afraid. Or rather, do not let it shut you down what they're doing to you, because in the end, if you need to rest because there's so much going on and they're doing so much, then rest. But don't let it stop you from being who you are, though. That's the one thing that we need to constantly remind ourselves of. They're going to do whatever it is that they do because that's their Luciferian desire. Their Luciferian desire is to destroy, maim, and steal. Destroy, maim, and steal. That's their Luciferian desire. Now, all the people that want to claim that, oh, they're not a bad person, oh, they just trying to do this to try to save their family. No. You are condoning the beast system. You are literally allowing it to become an even safer. It's like these people are allowing it to become an even more safer place for those who are Luciferian in intentions, right? Okay, what else? Oh, and for those of you who may be interested, this is a very old and beat up one because I left it here at my mom's, but this is what you call a retro reflector, right? It's kind of beat up and old, but in its perfect condition, all this would be covered black, right? Now, what would happen is now you see how you're looking through and you could see, like you could basically see out the window. Or is that no window? No, you're seeing the reflection of. Okay, that's the reflection. All right, I had to double check myself. Okay, so basically, what this does, a retroreflector takes light wherever it's coming from, and because of the way it's built and its shape, it reflects. It concentrates the light and reflects the light exactly back to its source. I learned about this, well, actually through a chat bot. I think I learned about retroreflectors about 2-3 years ago. Now, what I do with this sometimes is I'll take it with the reflecting side up. I'll take it and I'll angle it and try to see if I can hit that main link. And it's like as I hold it here, I could feel the pressure reducing in the right hemisphere of my brain. And as I'm remember, your biofield, it extends out a few feet from your body, but as I'm turning the reflector around, right, as I'm rotating it around what, would be my energy field, I could feel the thermal energy of something else coming into it, like coming towards it. And it's like, it's the resonance that's made between what? Me and the phone. That's one. Then there's like, I got there's a TV over here. There's a whole number of different things. But more importantly, all this stuff, it connects right up here. Right side of the brain. Ooh, sorry. Sometimes I get lost in this energy work stuff that I'm trying to do. But anyway, and then sometimes when when I feel like it collected enough, how I know it collected enough, because I can feel a warmth around the edges of the reflector. So I know it's stored some amount of energy. And what's even more interesting is when you find a signal, when you find it and you let it collect and resonate a little bit longer into the retroreflector, you actually start to feel the retroreflector get heavier. Anyway, okay, so yeah, so my mom, she was trying to sleep on a chair, on this computer chair over here, but that computer chair, of course it has metal in it. She had fell asleep in the chair, then all of a sudden she just woke up saying, Chris, pass me the spray. They going up my butt again. They going up my butt. So just try to spray her up. Then what else? So then she went to go and lay down on the couch in my room, my old room, and she was falling asleep for a little bit. Then all of a sudden, she just started screaming, "Chris, get the spray! They going up my butt!" So I'm just like, I'm trying to do the best I can. Then I asked her if she wanted to take the bath. She's taking the bath now. So that's seemed like it might be helping a little bit, because I figure if you take the bath, then whatever bots that's down there in the the vaginal area, or the genitalia, or the anus, whatever bots that's there, maybe the bath can help flush it out. But I don't think she's gonna stay here tonight either, because it's just too much. It's too much, because it's not just every electronic device, but it's literally everything that's metal or reflective. Anything that's metal or reflective. Like, this phone doesn't work, right? This is supposed to be for the intercom, but there's no power to it. There's no power. You see, there's no light, right? Now, this whole thing, I could feel energy coming off of it. Why? Because it's metal. That means there's metal material formed on it. So now the metal material that's on this is now absorbing energy and then redirecting it. And my mom, she was trying, 76-year-old woman trying to take on these Luciferians, man. Just trying to live out the rest of her days, and she's gonna have the hardest time, because they do not care about life. They don't care about life. So, right now, I gotta call my doctor, so then I would want him to be able to verbally tell me that there's nothing wrong. So that way, I would at least have record of him telling me that there's nothing wrong, there's nothing to worry about. And I have records of my own blood work. So now, the V2K, they've been saying, they've been telling everybody in the secrets, it's like, Chris got so many diseases. He got this. Well, no, they never named certain diseases. They did try to say I have herpes. Then I found out something very interesting about many viruses and diseases that's in the body that can actually be simulated. Actually, every disease and virus that's known can be simulated. You all right, Ma? You want me to turn the oven on? Just kidding. Okay, so I guess she's feeling a little bit better, but she didn't stay long enough in the bath to me. She was supposed to stay at least 45 minutes. But I'm trying to do the best that I can. But I'm like, the one thing I know I haven't tried is trying a signal jammer. And And it's like I am feeling so pressed to find a way to get my hands on the signal jammer to see if it actually works. Only problem is, the moment I activate a signal jammer, like I need to go somewhere that's away from other people, because if I activate a signal jammer, it would interfere with other people's communication. And that's usually when someone gets in trouble for using a signal jammer, is because they used it in an area that interfered with other people's communication. But that's the problem, though. People are being attacked through communication. They're being attacked through radio frequencies. And I'm like, that's the problem. People are being attacked by radio frequencies. How is it that one of the devices that you could use to protect yourself is also the very device that could put you in jail? Isn't that something to like, that's crazy. The one device you could probably use to protect yourself and your family could actually put you in jail. This is one of the reasons why they say some laws are meant to be broken. Because how do you have a system set up so that people who are intentionally minded, murderers, rapists, thieves, pedophiles, like people who are intentionally minded individuals of these different categories, they have the access to a telecommunication system that allows them to carry out whatever their Luciferian desire is on any one of their choosing. Because why? Every single person on this planet is linked up to the system. Why? Because they sprayed all of these audio, video, communication, nanotechnology bots on everything. Okay, so I had to go check in with her. She wanted me to rub some shea butter on her skin. Shea butter is definitely a nice addition to the itinerary for natural things you can do to either help cause interference or to help reduce inflammation. Let me see, for those of you who don't know what shea butter looks like. I'll show you what shea butter looks like. Okay, this is shea butter. African shea butter. So right now she seems, right now, I don't know, I guess they're not messing with her for now. But man, I forgot what I was talking about. But funny thing is that while I was rubbing the shea butter on her, they started attacking my lower back. Like, it felt like someone was trying. I need to start remembering or memorizing the different vertebrae of the spine again. But it's always in this lumbar area, not too far from the. I hear it, not the coccyx, but I forgot what that bone is with the 6. Oh. What? It's Marlene. Marlene. So, right. So, yeah, they started like it's like I'm getting hit here, and then it feels like I can feel the vibration and the pressure of a wave entering right here. Where did I put that spray at? I don't even know what I did with the spray. But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to remember. But I can't remember something right now. I feel a lot of pressure build up right here. Oh, here it is. Right, this is the spray. So, what I do with the spray, so you can see it in action. Just come on. I'm gonna dry it a little bit on the inside. Yeah, I gotta get a better spray bottle. I just went to like a discount store to get this one. I'm loving salty. There we go. Alright. Oh. Yeah. Went to the discount store to get a cheap one. Oh. I'm not gonna break it, man. So, basically, spray, like I said, it's mostly baking soda, sea salt, water, but there was like a little bit of alcohol still left in the bottle, because this was an alcohol spray bottle. But then I said, shoot, let me go ahead and make some of that sea salt and baking soda water in there, right? Now, interestingly, all right, so got distracted because I had a phone call interrupt my demonstration. So yeah, spray. Now it's funny because occasionally I would hear the V2K operative say something like, "Oh, you're destroying people's property, Chris. You don't realize that you're not supposed to destroy other people's property." Meaning, people have stakes. People have investments in the technology that's already in us. Which it kind of makes a lot more sense when I think about how upset certain people must be when they may have made an investment to see me become a police officer and see the technology work in a certain way when it's applied on the field. Bags. I guess that was just a coincidence that I heard someone say something out loud. But anyway, so yeah, I just spray, let it get all over. and then try to see if I can get my back. Ooh. Oh. So, sea salt, baking soda, and a little bit of alcohol. Preferably anything 90% or higher. And so it's like, as I spray it and I feel it, drying, like I could feel, like I feel this warmth of energy just kind of like something's like kind of like coming off, and I sprayed a little bit in the ear, like I sprayed a little bit. Like I sprayed a little bit in the ear. And I could feel pressure. Like I could feel pressure from here. It's like there's something here. There's like a node here. That's where your memory cortex is. Right here. And it's like this whole right hemisphere of the brain has multiple little waves inserting or looping multiple little waves. And it's like they're trying to control different functions. They're trying to control different functions of my body and personality. But I don't know, it's like when I do this, I feel better for the moment, right? Like for as long, it's like for as long as I don't know, it's on the skin, I feel a little bit better. Now, only problem is once it dries and they probably somehow attract more bots onto your body. You now have to start you now have to start compensating for the new bots that they add to your body. Oh. Man, I'm telling you, this is no easy feat, knowing what I know, and then having to try to teach people who don't know what I know, and then who probably don't even know the sliver of just basic technology stuff. But it's like, I can't allow myself to be brought down by that. Because in everything where someone is new going into a field, you gotta start from the bottom. You gotta start about learning the basics. You gotta learn a lot of things before you can get to become like a professional or whatever. See, and I feel like every time when I cough like that, right? That's not even a cough. That was just like, so what it feels like a lot of times, it feels like something's being pushed up. Like something's being pushed up, and then I feel it tickle in my throat. Matter of fact, I could feel, like right against the back of my hand, I could feel beams of energy hitting the back of my hand coming from the phone. Now, let me also show you something else. This is from. Okay. This, I'm going to include the link to this. I'm going to include the link to this in the description. An overview of W bands, right? Yeah. So, yeah, we're dealing with wireless body area networks and how they route data through living tissue, and then not only how they route data through the living tissue, But when it comes to being harmed by the technology, they're I think it's most likely because it's a lot of people sending signals to the body, but it's also the pathways that they choose to get to certain area, to certain, target destinations too. Let me see. So yeah, you see here, wireless body area network is a collection of low power, miniaturized or nano-sized, invasive or non-invasive, lightweight wireless sensor nodes that monitor the human body functions and the surrounding environment. So remember when I told you, right? If y'all remember when I did oh right, and I did the cranberry nanobot test with my mom. She saw them things jumping and moving around. Should have did a video. I should have did a video to show that. She saw them. As soon as I sprayed the alcohol on the cranberry saliva mixture she spit out, saw them bots just bumping. They was moving around, wiggling, almost like worms with their heads cut off or something like that. It was crazy. So, let me see. I haven't really gone through this whole thing myself. I just kind of skimmed through it because it's a PowerPoint presentation. So, what I would do with this PowerPoint presentation is take the terms that I see, and I would just basically look them up, right? Let me see. Right. So remember this presentation is from 2011. So these are much smaller now, much smaller, like dust. They've probably been out already for a while, but yeah, these are like dust. So this is probably someone's finger, right? And then as you can see, that's the ridges of someone's. So it's like when you think about it, it's like, can you imagine if it's like you can see like the ridges of my finger there, right? And then look how small that is. So if that's 2011, why is it so hard for people to realize that they can get this to be the size of like? Wait, no, you can't see it. Oh, well, it's not really dusty in here, but basically, it's like, why is it hard for people to realize they can get like this right here, this dust right here? It's like, why is it hard for people to realize that dust, like this, can literally be nanobots, right? That literally can be the nanobots in a dust form. They won't look like this no more. They don't have to look like that no more. They're spraying this stuff all over the world, and it looks like dust. People think they're sweeping dust up in their homes. No, you're not sweeping dust. You are sweeping nanobots, metamaterials. What else? Yeah, that one I wanted to look more into, because remember how I tell you how like everything kind of starts up here. Everything starts up here, but then wherever you feel a stimulation happening, the signal comes in through here, but then it goes into the brain, and I don't know, like something happens, some computational or conversion happens, and then next thing you know, there's a loop. There's like a cord that comes out, and it goes around and it stimulates whatever the target area is. So if it's your back, your chest, like if they wanted to overstimulate my heart or hit me anywhere, the signal has to come in. The signal has to come in first, resonate, and then now a link is then formed, or some type of like channel is formed between. Matter of fact, I actually feel one too. It's like here, and then it loops down. Where did it go? Okay, no, that's coming from the phone. This one's coming from the phone. That one's going into the prefrontal cortex, but that one's also coming from the phone. The one that's connected to my heart, let me see. Okay, I got that one. All right, now where is it going? Right, so there it goes. It's looping up this way. And it mixes in with something up here. Whatever this area is, the control center or whatever this area is, this conjunction, a lot of signals mix in here. But I've also been feeling the pressure in the back of the head here. Anyway, it's a multi-node system. Let me see, what is this? Routing related characteristics. Bandwidth, the available bandwidth is limited, shared, and can vary due to the fading, noise, and interference. As a result, the overhead generated by the protocol should be limited. Energy sensitive, the nodes that form the network can be very heterogeneous in terms of available energy or computing power. Health concerns. An extremely low transmit power per node is needed to minimize interference to cope with health concerns and to avoid tissue heating. Extremely low transmit power per node. So whenever you're feeling attacked, just know they are purposely transmitting more power through your nodes because they have the desire to cause you harm. They are fulfilling their Luciferian desire to cause harm. That is Luciferic. Anyone that has a desire to harm someone who isn't doing anything to them, that is Luciferian at its core. You don't hurt people who don't do nothing to you. That's very simple human knowledge right there. You don't hurt people who are not hurting you. But the moment you decide you want to just hurt somebody because you feel like you want to hurt somebody, or you want to hurt somebody because, I don't know, it makes you feel good to hurt people, you are giving in to Luciferian desires and what other entities all right. Yeah, so housing said that they were supposed to be coming to do an inspection, but they never came. Yeah, she believes that they're basically trying to keep her here so that they can keep, attacking her. Which makes a lot of sense because a lot of times if I don't want to be in my own house, I'll probably go and try to work or something because I just don't want to be around the energy or hey, I'll even say this too. A lot of times I might even pick up a shift or something because I don't know, maybe I woke up with just too much energy, and then if I slept with my next to my girlfriend, I know they're harvesting the energy from her body that'll go into my body, or sometimes it'll feel like, I don't know how, but it'll be like, yeah, and then sometimes it'll feel like if I went to bed with a lot of energy the night before, what it would feel like they drained me of my energy. And then like she'll wake up, she feels all bright and she got pep in her step. Me, I'm just like, I got all achiness and all this stuff, and we slept in the same bed. you know. What else? Something else I was supposed to show you before I end this. Network topology, energy consumption of entire network or individual nodes. That multi-hop, that's the one I was referring to, about how the signal comes into the brain, but then they if they want to attack like your left hip, it's like that electrical signal is then it hops around the body until it gets to the area where they want it to hit. Routing related problems. No, that's not. No, temperature based routing. This one here. Temperature based routing. Radiation absorption and heating effects on the human body. Cluster based routing. Spread the energy dissipation. Cross layer based routing to improve the efficiency of and interaction between protocols. This, I haven't really gone through all of this yet, but apparently a lot of these are systems, and I think what else it says? Let me see. A comprehensive survey of wireless body area networks. Okay. What else? Okay, right. To avoid heat generation, the radio's transmission power should be limited, but they're not limiting TIs. No. Traffic control algorithms should be used. Traffic control algorithms. Maybe they just allow a lot more people to just route data through our tissue, because we're being targeted. This is bioeffects, incident power density, network traffic, tissue characteristics. Let me see. Rate control, normalized bioeffect metric, or coefficient of absorption and bioeffects. Yeah, so I'm still reading some of these. I haven't done no full, deep dive into. I literally just found this PowerPoint yesterday. Starting to derive the temperature of the neighboring node. Right. So this is like an example of how they route information and data to through different nodes. And then these low temperature nodes, these are the nodes that they would use if they did not want to cause you harm while they try to send information to a place. They would use the low temperature nodes, right? But because we're being targeted, let's use the high temperature nodes. So. Okay, let me see. This is the cluster-based one. I haven't really looked through this one myself yet. Cross-layer-based routing. So we improve the efficiency of the interaction between the protocols and the WSN. Yes, that IEEE, they are definitely some culprits. The IEEE, because they're the ones who issue all this. They're the ones who help set all of this up. The IEEE. Let me see. The network is divided into time zones, where each time zone takes turns in the transmission. The nodes in the farthest time zone start the transmission. In the next slot, the farthest one sends its data, so on until the sync is reached. Yeah, I'm not even sure what sync means. Now this is also what I was telling y'all about too, how signals will go in through the head, but then it can hop or transfer to wherever needs to go. Like if they wanted to attack your knee, it would have to like travel, right? Then it's like, this is the smartphone right here. That's the phone. So let's say if you have your phone on you, they can basically harvest energy from your phone, and probably, matter of fact, they probably wouldn't have to harvest as much energy from the body if your phone is near you. So basically, what I notice at times, is what it feels like. A signal comes in, right? A signal comes in. Then, as the signal is being converted by the bots that's inside the brain, converted into an electrical impulse, then I think what happens is once it's converted to an electrical impulse in real time, it then finds a route to travel to get to the knee. Now, what I think also happens is the signal comes in, and because you're already connected to your phone, that signal, it travels, right? Or maybe it, I think what it also does is it connects together, like that, and then that, like connects together, and then it hits here. At least that's what I think. I'm not entirely sure. I'm still learning. Controlling access with distributed slot assignment protocol, completely discarding the layered structure and implementing the required functionality in different modules. So now this is from 2011, so I know a lot of these protocols may have changed or advanced quite a bit. This part here. See, now here's the thing. Alice, we already have the bots already in us. The bots are already inside of Alice. So Bob, which would be her healthcare physician or whatever, her handler, the data from Alice's body is going to Bob the handler. Now, this is mostly about so if it's between a patient and a doctor, right? But here's what I'm talking. Here's what's probably also happening to us. We don't have him. What we have is the cloud server, right? We don't have this guy. What we do have is this guy is actually more like here, or he's like, I don't know. I feel like it's like you got one person that's like reading the data that's going to the cloud server, but then they also have Eve sending data to Alice's body. So it's like as Alice data is sending over to the cloud server, as Alice's data is going to the cloud server, Eve is reading and intercepting that data that's going to the cloud server. Now, what Eve is going to do is Eve is now going to send signals and data to Alice's body. Alice is now going to be reacting to what Eve is sending to Alice. Alice is now sending her reaction to what Eve is doing to the cloud server. So, because we don't have access to the data that's coming in or going, Eve, that is Eve, right? Okay. Eve is literally just controlling and manipulating us, while the cloud server is probably thinking that, hey, or the AI is thinking that, hey, Alice is unhealthy, or Alice is doing this, Alice is doing that. But the cloud server or the AI probably don't realize Eve is over here causing Alice so much trauma. And the AI and the cloud server just thinks that the data that it's getting from Alice is accurate. And it's that shared nature of wireless network, insecure channel, Eve could break transmission. More maliciously, Eve modifies the medical data. Right. Can lead to severe medical malpractice. Yeah. What's this? A comprehensive security system, encryption, authentication, storage security, robustness, data integrity, and energy consumption. What's this? This is major security requirements. Okay. But yeah, I'm going to include. What is this? Yeah, see now for me, once it starts getting into all this, and I see like these diagrams like this, I'm like, it got technical. So I don't know. I try not to allow myself to feel overwhelmed by things that I don't know, because I'm like, well, I don't know it, but that doesn't mean that I can't know it. Let me see, energy consumption overall, MAC transmission, data transmission. And data transmission needs a lot of energy. You know, I just had this thought cross my mind just now. What if everybody else is having all their crypto and stuff mined through the energy that they're able to extract from us? Like, they found a way to steal, like, our wireless body area network. I don't know, like, steal access to it, and then basically force our bodies to give energy to their network or to their whatever, so then they can mine cryptocurrency off of us. I'm not sure, but everything is a learning process. Anyway, yeah, like right now I'm feeling all right. I'm look a bit ashy. Alright, so sorry, my phone died, but yeah, this is the end of the video. Remember, try to do everything you can to try to learn. You gotta teach yourself about all this stuff. Watch videos on Rumble, YouTube, BitChute. Read some of these studies that's already published, because everything that you could find out about what they're doing is being published under the disguise of it being a medical advancement. All this stuff that they doing to us is basically being rolled out under the disguise of a medical advancement to help people with disabilities. It's already out there. It's not secret. They just don't want you to know that they can weaponize something that is supposed to help you. Take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.